Hi there, this is Tanya Wright from the Natural. Hey there, this is Tanya Wright from thenaturalhomeschool.com, the place for homeschool and Montessori lovers ready to make themselves centered, organized teachers. Can you hear me now? For some reason, it's glitching today. I don't know what is going on. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Let me see if I can hear myself on the show. Can you guys see me? Oh, okay. Hi, Beth. Thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. I don't know what is going on this morning. So let's try this again. Hey there, this is Tanya Wright from thenaturalhomeschool.com, the place. All right, so there is obviously something going on with this show today. I don't know what is going on. But anyway, I am so glad that you are here. I have such an awesome show for you, and I can't wait for you to get started with me. We are going to be talking about the reasons to love Montessori. So I'm not going to let anything get in my way. I am going to tell you just how awesome the Montessori philosophy is. And I want you to tell me too. I want you to let me know what you think of the Montessori philosophy, what you love about it. If you are brand new, just tell me what you have heard of it that is so good, that is so awesome, that you really want to get involved in it. All right. So let's get started. Hey there, this is Tanya Wright from thenaturalhomeschool.com, the place for homeschool and Montessori lovers ready to make themselves centered, organized teachers, nurture happy children, and create. Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about the reasons to love the Montessori philosophy. I have no idea what's going on with my show today. It is not cooperating, but that is all right. We're going to make it work. It happens sometimes. It has to do with the software, and sometimes Facebook and YouTube do whatever they want to do, and that is okay. We're still going to be enjoying this training. So let me know in comments what you love about the Montessori philosophy. And hi, Ashley. Welcome. Good morning. I see Beth and Ashley and whoever else wants to say hi to me. I am super excited to be here. So you know that the Montessori philosophy is not just a method of education. It is a lifestyle. So basically you can start the Montessori philosophy from age 0. literally from age 0. There are babies that are born that go immediately into the Montessori method. And it doesn't mean that you are educating them with academics. It is a lifestyle and it is a wonderful one. So there are so many reasons to love it. And I will get into 3 of those today, but I still want to know which ones are your favorite ones because there are so many reasons. I'm just going to give you 3 main ones, but I want to hear what you have to say. So let's go to slide number 1. So the Montessori philosophy, when I say Montessori, I mean the method of education. It instills a culture of courtesy, peace, and care for others. This philosophy started over 100 years ago, and this point has always been important, especially because it started around the time of First World War. But this point couldn't be more timely, right? Oh my goodness, with everything that is going on with the world right now, we need to keep instilling even more so a culture of courtesy, peace, and care for others. We need to care for others. We need to strive for peace. We need to instill that culture of courtesy in our children. And how do we instill it the best? Through example, right? So when we do it, then they watch us and they follow. So that's one of the reasons why I love the Montessori philosophy. And I'm not saying that only Montessori does it, but the Montessori method really does focus a lot on it. If you study any method of education out there isn't one that particularly and specifically focuses on peace and courtesy like the Montessori method does. And that is one of the reasons why I love the Montessori philosophy. So let me know what you think. If you agree, if you have something else that you love in the Montessori philosophy, but this is one of mine. And I just love reading Maria Montessori's books. These are some of her actual uh, books that were translated from Italian when she wrote them. And this one is The Absorbent Mind. This one is The Secret of Childhood. And this one is The Discovery of the Child. And in her books, she talks a lot about courtesy, peace, and care for others, and how these children were in the Montessori environment learning to care for themselves, for others, and for their environment. That is really, really special. All right, so in slide number 2 is point number 2. Another reason why I love the Montessori philosophy is that it sows and nurtures a love for independent discovery and learning. So it is not teacher centered. Like in a traditional classroom, the teacher stands in the front, lectures the students, all the students are paying attention to what she has to say. In the Montessori environment, everybody's doing their own thing independently. They're doing their independent learning. Now, the teacher or the Montessori guide, which is the adult in the classroom, will draw a child in every once in a while and do the one-on-one presentations of the work so the child knows how that work functions and how the presentation goes, the lesson beginning to end. So the guide is still an integral part of the environment, but she's not the main focus of the environment. So she works in the background to make the foreground function. She prepares the environment, she observes the children, and the children are independent in discovering the learning because of the prepared environment that you have already done your homework with and set up exactly the way the children need it according to their sensitive periods. So I love the way that the Montessori philosophy sows and nurtures the love of independent discovery in learning. I love, love, love that. And if you read, again, if you read Maria Montessori's books, you will see exactly how she went about doing it. There are other books. These are by Maria Montessori herself. There are other Montessori books like this one, Montessori Today, by other authors that also talk about the beautiful philosophy of Montessori, and it it addresses these topics such as sowing and nurturing the love of independent learning, because honestly we are doing children a disservice if we are not letting them try things on their own. I know it's more work and it's more effort for us to watch a child struggle through a little something, but once they get that breakthrough, they are so proud of themselves for what they have accomplished. So, it is so exciting to see. It takes patience, yes. It takes time. It takes more effort. But you know what? It is so worth it. It is definitely worth it because you are going to discover that, yes, you're doing the extra work at the beginning, but then when the child is actually um, with those skills, then you can sit back and observe them and just uh, watch them be independent and take pride in that independence, right? So let me show you a little something that I wanted to share with you. Okay. Let me see if it's going to work because it's been acting out on me today.
Thank you for listening to the show. Stay tuned for more. Have you been wondering how to go about doing Montessori successfully or learn more about this wonderful method? Are you lost when it comes to planning Montessori lessons and know how to help children with this wonderful method? Are you constantly doubting yourself, not being sure you're presenting the lessons correctly to a child no matter what subject it is? Are you ready to become a centered, organized Montessori guide and nurture happy, normalized children? What about loving the idea to know how to create smooth, successful Montessori days? Let me introduce you to the Montessori Way Foundations Framework, a 6-month journey to a firm foundation in the Montessori method. Visit us at thenaturalhomeschool.com/TMWFF.
All right, so we are back. I hope that you got to listen to that because for some reason the intro is not working and it's not showing on my screen. So I am kind of going blind today on the show, but that's okay. Technology will be technology, right? So we've been talking about this wonderful method, the method of Montessori, and some of the just 3 reasons why we love them, but there's so many. I just would take forever, days and days and days to talk to you about it. So let me know in comments what your reasons to love the Montessori philosophy are and why. So let me show you slide 3. And another reason why we love the Montessori philosophy is that it encourages the working of children of different age groups. And I have talked about this before, and I am a big advocate of mixed ages, the groups. You don't have kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, like in traditional schools. You actually have a range of ages from 0 to 2 are together, and they get to grow together, and they have the 3-year cycle zero, 1, 2, and they get to learn to walk and to use the potty and different things together, and it's so special. They move on to the ages 3 to 6, and you have children that are 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the same environment, and it is so special, and I love it because the younger ones glean from the older ones. The older ones that have mastered material are able to teach the younger ones, and they get to help them become normalized in the Montessori environment. So it is really exciting that children are not caged into, you have to learn this amount of material, this exact material in this exact amount of time, and if you don't, then you are held back, you are not moving ahead. They have a 3 or 4 year cycle where they get to be introduced to the material, they get to practice the material, become familiarized with it, they get to um, grow in it, they get to master it, they get to teach it to others. It is just uh, a better way for learning because children are not as stressed out. And when I, as a teacher, was in the public school setting, and even private schools as well that were not Montessori, uh, they were just really pressuring us as teachers, really pressuring us, teach to the test. And when you have a 3 year cycle, it takes the stress off of you too, because you know that the children really are learning. You're not just shoving information down their throats. And if you think about it, a school year is not really an actual calendar year. It's not 12 months, it's more like 9 months, 180 days. And how much information can you shove down people's throats in 180 days? It's just very stressful, and it's not conducive to learning, especially long term retention of the information. But imagine if you come to an environment where you know the people in the environment because they come year after year. You know the guide, the Montessori guide, the teacher, you know most of the students, and you know the material, but you are going to the next level. And every time you work on it, you go to the next level until you master it. It is so much better. And that is another reason why I love the Montessori philosophy. So I'm going to give you a minute here to type up some comments for me. I see that some of you have been commenting, but I would love to hear the reasons why you love the Montessori philosophy that you have implemented in your home, if you are homeschooling, or in the Montessori schools or preschools or daycares. The Montessori philosophy can go anywhere, really. Even when I was in public school, I applied a few of the principles of the Montessori philosophy in my classroom, and my children there, and by my children, I mean my students, were thriving. So let me know what you think. When I was asking inside my group, which I'm going to invite you to right now, uh, it is called, if you are just a homeschooler, but you are also doing Montessori or any type of educational philosophy, you can join my Facebook community called the Natural Homeschool Community. And if you are doing Montessori either at home or at school or anywhere, and you want to learn more, then join the Facebook group called the Montessori Way Prep Room, because that is where we're going to be, preparing lessons, talking about it. Well, inside that group, I was asking, kind of like in a poll setting, I was asking them what their favorite uh, thing about the Montessori philosophy was, what they loved the most, because I knew I was going to be talking about this topic. So let me tell you what they said. I'm going to find it real fast. And show you. One of them said that what they love about it the most is that they get to disappear as a teacher. Like, obviously, you are there. But what I'm trying to say is that you let the children work as if you didn't exist. And it's true because the children are normalized in the environment, they're well adjusted, they know how it works, they have older children to help them out, and it's just beautiful. Then the one poll option that got the most votes was the method of education. There is so much to the method of education in Montessori, but just the encompassing idea of it is what they love the most. It is so unique and so different. Inside the Montessori Way Foundations Framework, which is the program that I'm running to teach people the foundations of the Montessori philosophy, we go through the 7 modules and delve deeper and deeper into different topics of the method. They are completely astounded. Like, I knew about Montessori and I knew I loved it, but now that I'm going through all of this and delving deeper, then I love it even more. And it is so exciting. Another point in the poll that people were talking about was that they love the way the child develops in the Montessori philosophy. They love how the child develops, and it is so true. Freedom within limits. And if you are interested in that live training, you can find it in either my YouTube channel or you can find it on my blog, and I can post the link in the comments as soon as we're done. But I went into a whole training about freedom within limits because children really do need the freedom to be able to be discovering their learning, like I said in point number 2 today. So, Giselle, hi. You say, it helped me to spark my mind and imagination to use what I have at home with my 2-year-old and to be more organized. 100% yes. You hit the nail in the head. It is exactly what I've been talking about. You get creative. You see what that unique method of education is, and you start pulling things from your home. And what I love about it is that it includes the subject of practical life. And practical life is the cheapest subject to ever teach. Why? Because most of the materials you already have at home. You are teaching your children to be well rounded, independent individuals, so they will help you with things around the home. But it's not just them helping you. You are not just thinking about the right here, right now of the child, but you're thinking about their entire life. Imagine I got to college and I had friends that had never done laundry before. I had to teach them how to do laundry. I had friends that had never cooked a scrambled egg in their lives. I had to teach them. I had friends that didn't know how to do a lot of things, like how to put gas in the car. I mean, simple things, how to balance a checkbook. So, um, it is important to learn these practical life skills. We start them young because the practical life subject is the subject that shortcuts the child's journey from dependence to independence the fastest out of all the subjects. practical life, imagine this morning my child didn't know how to tie their shoelaces and now they do. Just boom. You take a little bit of practice and it's done. And it's so, so special because they take pride in what they are learning. But at the same time, you are moving them closer and closer toward independence. If I told you what my children can do right now, they're 8 and 10, and what they can do independently, you would be shocked. It is amazing. And when I was observing in Montessori schools that have actual older kids, not just the 9 through 12, but they're actually um, having the older kids like middle school children, you would be so shocked that these sixth and seventh and eighth graders are running actual businesses and they are doing it successfully. So we are having so many reasons to love the Montessori philosophy. Let me read a little bit more. The way it takes the focus off the teacher was another point that they shared in the group, the Montessori Way Prep Room in Facebook. That's my group for Montessori. And it's true. It takes the focus off of you as a teacher and you focus on the child. So I hope that this has really helped you and has gotten you thinking, because I absolutely love the Montessori philosophy and I hope that you do too. I want to invite you, let me show you this screen one more time. I want to invite you to get, speaking of practical life, to get a free list that I made of 100 Montessori practical life works. 100 that you can do at home or at school or wherever it is that you're doing Montessori, daycare, preschool, anywhere. I'm putting it in comments. You get that list for free. It is a PDF download. You are going to be able to get it, download it, print it out. And then it's really cool to just go through the list and just check things off as you go. And you will love to see just how much your child is going to be learning. Now, you can start some of these as early as 2. Yes, with your 2-year-old. You can start some of these with your 2-year-old. And even if you don't start them at 2 because they're younger, they can still watch you do it and maybe do a step or two in the activity, maybe not the whole thing on their own beginning to end. But as time goes by, like I said, you have the year cycles where they get to practice more and more and then eventually reach mastery. So it is super exciting. Go ahead and get this. It is a free printable. I wanted to make it easy for you to, number one, get that list of ideas. There's no more brainstorming and all this stuff. Like, I don't know what else to do with my child. What in the world is practical life? Well, this list, grab the list. It is beautiful. It is easy to follow. It is full of ideas. Like I said, a list of 100 ideas for practical life works. You don't have to do all of them at once. Just pick a few every week and then just have fun with it. But number 2, I wanted to make this because today's topic is reasons to love Montessori. If you get involved in the Montessori practical life subject, you are going to love Montessori. So if you are new to the philosophy, you are going to absolutely fall in love with it. And if you are seasoned in it, this is going to be a great refresher just to help you with your day-to-day lesson planning, right? So Rose, hi Rose, you are telling me that you are working full-time and your son is in daycare. You can do Montessori at home by starting with practical life. So there are certain ways that you can do things a little differently at home that are the Montessori way. And I actually have a surprise for you. I have the Montessori Way Foundations Framework, which is the program that I launched to help. It is a 6-month program, a framework, if you will, that is helping people learn about the foundations of the Montessori method to help them get so much faster from point A to point B, which is helping the child. And it focuses on 3 premises. One, to help you become a centered, organized Montessori guide. 2, to show you how to nurture happy, normalized children. And 3, to help you create smooth, successful days, Montessori days. So I was planning on opening enrollment again first thing in January. But surprise, I'm actually opening it up very soon. So stay tuned. You won't want to miss this framework. Trust me. I have 23 clients right now that are working through it, and it is helping them so much. They are growing so much. We've been at it since June, and it has been amazing to watch them grow so much, so fast, and the way that they are applying it in their environments. I am just beyond myself with excitement. So Rose, you have set up your environment so he can access them, but is that enough? Well, it depends on what you are presenting to the child. You don't have to present a lot to keep them engaged. You don't have to present a lot. You just need to present the right thing. And the way that you know the right thing is by learning more about the sensitive periods that they are in. The sensitive periods are the windows. This is a whole other lesson, but those are the open windows for maximum learning in certain skills. So if your child is really interested in something, but not interested in something else, that means that the window of opportunity or sensitive period is open for this thing, but not yet for this one. So and that's the easiest, quickest way to know whether their sensitive periods are open or not. So I don't want to take a lot of your time today, especially because of the technology issues that we were having. But I do want to tell you that I do come back. If you have comments, even if you are watching the replay, I come back, read your comments, answer your questions, even if it's not live. Okay, so please let me know what you think and why you love the Montessori philosophy. Bye.
I appreciate you sharing time with me today. You have tons of choices about what you're listening to, and I love that you chose the Natural Homeschool Show. Thank you. Well, that's it for today. Until next time, this is Tanya Wright with thenaturalhomeschool.com. I hope that you will use this training to create solutions that will bring about smooth, successful days for you. Let's get you closer to that transformation today.